I think the approach is very the approach of the will to receive to oneself, to the corporeal or to our reality, is how do I solve it? How do I solve the problems? How do I sort of take it and change it to the better? Okay. Now, this perception is very much to do with the control that the will to receive to oneself wish to have upon reality. And if it doesn't succeed, is sort of it's devastated and disappointed and depressed and nicely or not so nicely curse reality or curse the what actually is being perceived. But when we are actually with inside, the perception is from inside the work. It is clearly a state of what I'm saying, a state of separation, meaning that corporality was separated from spirituality. And when there was a search of connecting them, it was always how corporality will use to its agenda, to its political power trip, or for its any kind of, or for its richness, or for its status, will use. It cannot otherwise. It can think only through that. So it needs to close its eyes and to be with a trust. And this is what I'm saying, turning the back and actually falling. Okay. Knowing that something will catch us and will give us the perception of actually how corporality can serve spirituality. But on every step, we need to convince, we need to actually harness the left or the will to receive to oneself to this perception. Otherwise, we always try to manipulate and to extrapolate and to use the light. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether it's within all what we find the vulnerable part of existence. Now, all the vulnerable parts, like losing, death, disease, the way actually we see that that evil people wins, or win the war. This is what we see, but this is not the actual result even of the struggle between, let's say, light and darkness. So we need actually to turn our back or to close our eyes to that which we see, and to actually understand, to get a different perception, meaning a different vessel, a different intention in which we will be able to read or to see the world. Or what we will see in the world. We will see the intention of the higher within, or the plan of the higher, how it actually extends itself to the lower. So this is it's a critical point. And this is why I'm saying that this portion is a critical point in our understanding of the work and the relationship between corporality and spirituality, or corporality and the world of light, I would say. Yeah.
How do I turn my back to what
First,
I'm seeing?
give up the rational explanation of what is going on, because all the rational explanation, everything that seems so intelligent, first fall on its face, doesn't explain anything. So it means that in spite of all the trial of ideology to explain reality, we fail. So at least a person who is at work is saying to oneself, I'm not able to explain it, because any explanation that is being given within the reason, within the limited reason of humanity, whether it sounds intelligent or not, is falling into separation from what it actually needs, and that is the light. So first you give that up. You don't look at it as though you understand it or what you see is real.
No,
And it's true about yourself, and it's true about the other, and it's true about what we see on TV or what we see in the street. It's all conditions, and we read it as results. And actually, we need to read it as conditions.
conditions.
Yeah, it's a condition of us understanding that what we actually lack. We lack connection to the plan in order to be able to see what is going on. So this is what I'm saying. We cannot see anything, and this is why every title that is being given in the book of articles, it has the addition in the work. Why? It's in the work. We don't read it. We try to read it as though it's so the description of no, it's in the work. When we get into the arena and conditions of the work and we go through it through surrender, meaning we surrender our understanding, the way we see things, the way we perceive things, the way we feel them, the way we interpret our feeling. Yeah. So this is what you give up. This is what I mean when you turn your back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard
Okay.
because
Mm.
a negation of yourself.
Yes, a negation of that the apparatus that I have, the physical one, the corporeal one, actually is able to truly interpret the purpose of life or what is going on that is part of the plan. Is not. So if I turn my back to it and I'm sort of falling into the plan, okay? Falling into the plan backwards. So I start, first I feel that which is holding me. And from that, I see the perspective of the higher, not the perspective of myself. Okay. So there is a very simple exercise that people do sometimes when they want to show that they create, a safe zone for emotional safe zone. So they allow each other to fall into the others. Okay, so we need to do it not as an exercise, but as training ourselves to actually see the damage that is being caused by our holding into our perception or our corporeal perception. We're actually causing damage. We're causing ruins. We're causing tear and exile. Actually, we're causing exile. Exile from connection.
When we go out into the world.
When you go out into the world, I think our perception is, yes, what I see, I cannot not be impressed with what I see, but I do have the imprint or the memory of what I deposit, meaning the imprint of that what I see is need. And I'm going to collect it into the prayer or into my surrender. Everything that I see is actually a need or a cry that comes out of not being able to perceive the plan, not being able to perceive the light. So, yeah.
Stop the judgment.
Yeah.